All right, thank you for waiting. We've now got Future Cop LAPD with Finalflame.
All right. Hi everybody, welcome back. I am Finalflame. You may have seen me this morning helping out with LADX commentary. But for now, I'm going to show you the first of my two runs of the day, Future Cop LAPD, released on the PlayStation 1. We're going to be doing this on easy. There is, I don't even know the difference between them. It's one leaderboard. Why make it harder than I need it to be? And we're just going to go ahead and dive into our first of 8 stages in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, so a couple things going on here. For movement, we have up, down, left, right. We can also drift with the bumper buttons. We have 2 vehicles we are going to control. You saw the walker, and now you're seeing the hover car. And you are now going to see my horrendous 3D movement. Do not hold it against me, but it's all right. So we have 3 different size weapons, I suppose you could say. Light, medium, heavy. Those weapons will be changing through the game. The only one that's truly relevant for that is heavy, I'd say. So this game is very glitched. It's going to go very fast, as you can see. What I'm doing there is I'm drifting against the wall, and depending on which wall I'm up against, I'm either holding up or down, and you kind of warp up to the top of that, and that's going to be heavily, please don't fall. Okay. I don't actually know how to get out of that. It's probably easy. It's going to be heavily abused through the run. So as I was saying, we're starting stage 1. Let's try that again. For whatever reason, sometimes when you're up on that wall, it does not want you to get off. So we're just going to take a mulligan on that. If that's the worst thing that happens this run, I'd call that a successful run. Waiting on that mortar to land. There we go. So yeah, this is a very glitched run. There's 2 glitches we're primarily going to be using. This is by far the biggest one. I will point out the other one when we get to it, about halfway through the run. So you'll notice in the bottom I have limited ammo. That really isn't much of an issue until one of the later stages, specifically for the heavy ammo, which right now is my mortar launcher. It's the blue icon on the right of those ones. All right. Let's just... Why am I getting knocked off? Holy cow. Actually, I might have been able to glitch up there. Just saw a spot. I'll try that if it happens again. Of course, that hasn't happened to me up until practice earlier. That's fine. My estimate is fortunately pretty large, just in case weird things happen. The game itself is pretty safe to play. There's no fear of a game over. Yes, you can mess up stages, but that's perfectly okay. You just end up back at the start. If you do die, which we shouldn't have an issue with in the first few stages. Later on, there's a couple dangerous ones. That's why I built them into the estimate. All right. Let's try something slightly different. There we go. I do need to drop down here to activate the boss trigger. I have 2 of these little cannons I need to defeat first before the main boss uncovers itself. I want to be careful here to primarily not get hit, at least not get hit too much, because then you do have a risk of death. And I'm going to do some movement here and hope for the best. Yep. Ideally, I also don't want any of my missiles hitting all those red ones I'm also shooting. Unfortunately, I did not get a quick kill. So now I have to take down some of these barriers to get through. You see them changing color as they get weaker. Should be able to get the kill there. There we go. First stage done after way too long. Good riddance to that stage. I'd say it's about as easy as it gets, but it really isn't. All right, so I mentioned we have 3 different types of weapons earlier. I'm going to change 2 of them now. You unlock them as you go along. Gonna grab those 2. Most of the weapons just unlock as you complete stages. There are a few you have to go out of your way to get if you wanted to, and you would do that in the all weapons category. One of them, if your movement is good enough, it is slightly faster, I believe, for the any % category. In case y'all can't tell, my 3D movement, nah. So I don't worry about that. So it gotta be just a slight angle to get that to work. And I'm actually going to get an upgrade here to one of my weapons, to the mortar launcher. That will be of pretty good help and will be very important later on. I didn't want to fall quite yet in the last stage. To get up ramps like that, you can only do it in this walker. You cannot do it in that hover car. So I had to change when I did. A lot of these bosses are just hold all three of your weapon buttons and destroy it. Not all of them. Again, specifically the last one's going to be a bit of a challenge. We also have bosses in between each stage. It's called not mashing and saving. And now the bounce mines, which are huge, as you are about to see. All right, gotta start this off by changing back to this hover car. There is a soft lock potential here. Knock on wood, I have never soft locked here. And I certainly don't hope to change that today. So I gotta be a little careful and we're good. If you fall off of that too early, you will be stuck in between some invisible walls. You won't be able to get out. We are out of bounds, by the way. That's a bit of a recurring theme. And we're here at the boss, and I'm going to take a moment to position myself well so that these bounce mines immediately explode. You do need to be careful with them. Okay, I need to move up a little more. There we go. You can see my health has been dropping. Bounce mines will do that to you. So in a lot of these bosses, you need to be extra careful. We're going to come up to Venice Beach as our next zone. This is where it starts getting a little more challenging, at least for me. From now until the last stage, we don't need to change any of our weapons, so we can just plow through the menus. So I do need to be careful with my health here. I'm also going to get to see that other glitch I mentioned. After I run into every vehicle in the water. So I need to line myself up here to hit this at the right angle. You're not meant to do what I'm about to do. Unfortunate. Let me just try it again without adjusting. Nope, okay. So yeah, you're generally speaking not, excuse you, vehicle, not meant to just go up here. But if you hit it at the correct angle, you can just do that. All right, we're going to change into this. We're going to jump on this slope, hold either left or right. There we go. And you basically slide up the rest of the slope. My health is a little lower than I'd like. I think we'll still be all right. So the boss coming up is a little dangerous. First, I need to get close enough to these weapon upgrades just to save me some time later, because I will have limited time. Take this out. I don't necessarily need to, but it's a nice little safety, because I don't want to take more damage than I need to.
I don't know what he's doing to that guy, but stop it.
Alright, going to grab these while the boss spawns.
That wasn't very sporting.
Got the upgrades, so I need to time my bounce mines here so I don't die and the boss does.
He is. I have him on screen now. Bring him in, X1 Alpha. That's a heavy weapon power-up.
Okay. It happens. So the issue there is those bounce mines are damaging you, and you need to be quick on that kill or the boss will go underwater. And if he does that, you have to wait quite a while. Unfortunately, deaths will bring you back to the start of the stage. Well, that went better. Okay, much quicker that time. This has always been one of the stages I struggle with most, so I'm not surprised to have that happen. I think I mistimed my first bounce line, and unfortunately, as a result, took more damage than I would have liked.
I don't know what he's doing to that guy, but stop it.
Come on.
Big Six assistant bastard, isn't he? That wasn't very sporting.
There we go. Got those again.
Get your feet.
Let's try this again.
There he is. I have him on screen now. Bring him in, X1 Alpha.
There we go.
That's a heavy weapon power-up.
There we go. That's what we wanted to see. And I'm just staying over here to get away from other weapons / enemies that can hurt me during that, because you can still die. That is the halfway point of the run. The next two stages, fortunately, are pretty straightforward. Still a chance of death on this stage. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen. I've been doing better. So that new glitch you saw where I kind of walked up the wall, you're about to see that again. First, I'm going to take that out just to make things easier. I'm going to wait for this car. They're slightly slow. There was 1, 2, 3. We're at the boss. The biggest risk I have here is drifting off by accident. So I'm going to hopefully not do that. I need to time some of these bounce mines. Oh no, please tell me I got it. Please, please. There's 3 of these in total. I think I got the first one. Oh, let's not accidentally drift off. If you drift off, you are dead. I did not get the first one. Okay, so I have to wait for it to cycle back around. Oh, hello. As I was looking for where it came from. I usually don't miss that one, so I wasn't sure where it would come from. Alright, just gotta give it another moment. Usually it's the second one that I struggle with. Come on, where are you coming from? I hear it. There it is. There we go. 3 of those down.
Alpha mission complete.
As you can see, stages go relatively quick. One thing to note, if this game does interest you at all, there is a guide on SRC. It's how I learned the game. Very well done. I believe it's a video guide. Yeah, can strongly recommend. Not a lot of people run this game, but it's been really fun.
Nuclear and biological
Little more glitches, and we're pretty much at the boss already. This boss can be deadly if you aren't careful. Didn't mean to fall down there. Specifically, you don't want to give this big bad guy a hug. But if you do it right, it goes like that. And now is where the game actually steps it up in difficulty. We have 2 stages left. The next one's very unique in that it's split into 2 parts. Part 1, Part 2. There is some soft lock potential, there's death potential.
The little doctor has turned LAX into a fortress.
So first things first, let's get through section 1. Hitting these triggers. Going to glitch up to here.
I got a read on that missing SWAT team. They're nearby.
Alright, please work. Hey, there we go. You do have to be careful up there, or you can just fall right off. We are now out of bounds. I'm going to take this for a little bit as I hit apparently an invisible wall there. There is soft lock potential coming up here, but to avoid it, I just stop my vehicle. Anytime I just try and take that one continuous motion, I have soft locked. So even though it's kind of slower doing it this way, you know, it's even worse if you soft lock. All right, doing the warp up here, and this is probably the most difficult one in the game. No! Okay. How do I get up from here? I believe I can get up over here. No, okay, where is what I'm looking for? I don't see it. You know what? This is what I get for not practicing backups. We'll just do that again. That was pretty good though, getting up there right away. But you really don't want to fall off.
The little doctor has turned LAX into a fortress. Take him and take back that spaceport. There should be some deactivation panels around. Use them, sweetheart. I got a read on that missing SWAT team. They're nearby.
I'd appreciate it if everything stopped shooting me right now. Alright, got there quickly. Let's try that again. So yeah, what makes that warp so tricky, so you can do it by either pressing up or down, and ideally you'd want to use it pressing up to have forward momentum, but it seems to be much more difficult doing that. So I'm doing it holding down, but I need to switch to up when I think I'm about to warp so I don't just immediately fall back off. Like so. Now I do have a jump button. It doesn't work in the hover car, but what it will do is it'll essentially apply the brakes, which I am using to try to steady myself up there. And throughout the entire run to make up for my horrid movement. There we go. That is the end of part 1 of this stage. On to zone 2, which is the one that will contain the boss. Some more shenanigans going on here. I do have a weapon upgrade I want to grab first.
You're very persistent.
Alright, this is kind of tricky.
Special weapon power-up.
Okay, not done yet. I gotta take it a little easy here. Nice, that's exactly how I wanted that to go. Now we have this boss where I just need to be careful to not blow myself up. Now fortunately this boss arena actually has some health pickups if I need it, but it takes a lot of time to get. If I do it right, I shouldn't need it at all. Perfect. Alright, so now we're coming up in the last stage. The boss in particular is going to be the trickiest part of this. I do also need to remember to change one of my weapons here. Change that to mortar launcher and electric gun. I lied, 2 of my weapons. Alright, so there's going to be a trick coming up. I need to line myself up pretty precisely to make it across a road that has a lot of electricity on it. And that electricity will absolutely destroy me if I sit in it for too long. But I also need to line myself up well, not only because of that, but because of the angle of the ramp. Oh, I'm bad. And this is why I have the long estimate. So yeah, I was a little too far to the right, didn't line myself up too well. This is when I'm glad that you can't game over. If you can game over, I don't know how.
Find him and bring him in. Scans show no obvious life forms in the area. A lot of corpses, though. LA Rapid Medical
Might be
Response
all right.
Ambulance dispatched.
Yeah, so you can see I took a quarter of my damage. That's not too bad, honestly. I'm content with that. I do want to be careful not to... No! Not to do that! I think it was me just holding a button, not even realizing it.
Warrant has been issued for Vladimir Leach. Find him and bring him in.
That's alright, we'll do it again.
Scans show no obvious life forms in the area. A lot of corpses, though. LA Rapid
Nice, no
Medical
damage
Response
there.
Ambulance
It really doesn't
dispatched.
matter. There is a health pickup coming up that, if need be, I could grab.
They didn't commit
Alright,
suicide.
let's transform and warp on up here
Sounds promising.
onto part 2 of the stage, if you will.
X1 Alpha, crowd control situation.
And you can hear like the game's just going crazy with, I think, just previous sections that may have been skipped and all the NPC dialogue. Nice. Alright, so we shut down the electricity on this road. I am going to skip the health pickup because I do not need it.
The AI lab is
Need to make it across this road.
find a way up and out. The lab
Alright,
is
we're about to come up on the boss. The boss will take a little bit of focus for me. It's basically 3 computers. The first and the second are not too bad, or sorry, first and third, but the second one is a mess, and I need to actually conserve some of my mortar launchers here. And be careful not to take too much damage. There's one, now I gotta focus.
Unit number 3 offline.
Hopefully it goes down here. I would really appreciate it. Oh. Alright, so unfortunately I'm now out of the upgraded mortar launchers, but that's down. That leaves this one, which is not as bad. You'll see me moving around left and right. That's really just to try and dodge all this stuff because it will hurt, it will kill you. Time will be coming up, hopefully pretty shortly. Just need to not die. Come on. Preferably before I run out of ammo, that's time. Within estimate, that's why I have a long estimate, just in case any of that happens. That was not exactly a clean run, but you know, things happen. But yeah, highly recommend anyone who might be looking for a short 3D game. Check this out. Check out SRC. There's a guide. There's a Discord. This game's been a lot of fun. It's not something I would normally run. As you can see, my 3D movement, not the greatest, but this was actually given to me as part of Speedrun 1 early last year, and turns out I had a lot of fun with it. Would love to see other people pick it up. Pretty simple. There's also other categories of the game. I've run all weapons, which is a little bit longer than that. Makes the last boss so much easier. There's some other stuff, I just haven't really dabbled in it much, but thank you everybody. Thank you for taking this game to VSB staff. You'll be seeing me again in a couple of hours, but for now, I believe you've got some other stuff lined up for you, so stay tuned.